Nothing changes until you choose to be seen, the decision to become visible. Nothing changes until you choose to be seen, not halfway seen, not occasionally visible, not seen only when you feel confident. I mean seen for real, fully, boldly, strategically, visible to the right people for the right reasons, in the right way. That decision, it changes everything. You've got the knowledge, you've got the skills, you've got the results that prove you can help people. But still you're overlooked, underbooked, second-guessed, not because you're not good enough, but because the world doesn't know you exist yet. And until you make the decision to become visible, you'll keep playing at a level that feels way too small for your potential. You'll keep waiting to be discovered, hoping the algorithm picks you, wishing that someone finally sees what you're capable of. But let me say this clearly, no one is coming to find you. You have to decide to be found. You can't keep saying you want growth but hiding from the very attention that growth requires. You can't keep asking for high-level clients but refusing to communicate in a way that attracts them. You can't keep praying for breakthrough while showing up inconsistently, hoping luck will fix it. You don't need more luck, you need more strategy. That strategy starts with a decision, and I mean a real one, not a maybe next month, not a when I have more time, not a when I feel ready, but right now. Because readiness is a result of repetition, not a prerequisite for visibility. Let me say something bold. Your business won't grow faster than your visibility system. You want consistent income. You need consistent presence. You want respect in your industry. You need clear messaging and frequent reminders of your value. You want buyers who trust you, quote you, refer you, and tag you. Then you better show up like someone worth remembering, because invisibility is too expensive for someone like you. And I know it's not easy. Showing up will test you. It will feel vulnerable. It will stir every insecurity you've ever hidden behind perfectionism. You'll feel tempted to delay, to overthink, to tell yourself no one's listening anyway, but that's not truth, that's fear talking, and you're done letting fear be your business partner. This is your decision point. You can keep playing small, or you can get visible and get paid. You can keep hoping they find you, or you can build a system that guarantees they do. You can keep winging it with your time, or you can finally start leading your day like a CEO. And yes, if you need a system to do that, I built the Time for Business calendar for entrepreneurs just like you. More on that later. What matters right now is this. Decide to be seen, not just sometimes strategically, not just emotionally intentionally, not just online everywhere it counts, because that's where everything begins. Nothing changes until you choose to be seen. Staying hidden might feel safe, but it's not safe, it's expensive. Every day you stay invisible, you lose time, you lose trust, you lose traffic, you lose the exact clients you're praying for because they don't know you exist. Not because you're not good, not because you're not qualified, not because you're not capable, but because you're not visible. And let's be real. Being great in secret won't pay the bills. Being wise in the dark won't build your brand. Being quiet with your gifts won't build a legacy. You weren't created to stay hidden. You weren't built to keep your brilliance bottled up, and deep down, you know it. There's a louder version of you buried beneath the fear, a more powerful version of you ready to lead, a more disciplined version of you just waiting on a system to rise. But here's the truth no one says out loud. Staying hidden is a habit, and habits become identities, and identities become prisons. You tell yourself, I don't have time, I don't know what to post. I don't like the way I sound on camera. I just want to work, not promote myself. But all of those are excuses dressed up as logic. Visibility doesn't mean shouting into the void. It means learning how to speak to the right people the right way consistently. That's leadership, and leadership demands visibility. Your message deserves momentum, but momentum doesn't come from thinking. It comes from showing up, and showing up takes time. Time you must start owning like a CEO, because if you don't lead your time, your fears will. If you don't command your schedule, chaos will. If you don't build a system to make visibility easier, you'll always mean to do it but never actually do it. That's why I created the Time for Business calendar, not as a planner, as a weapon to help ambitious entrepreneurs stop guessing and start leading. Every hour matters when you're building something meaningful, and visibility doesn't happen by accident, it happens by design. Let me ask you something real. How many clients have passed you by just because you weren't visible at the moment they were looking? How many people needed your solution but found someone louder, not better? How long will you keep making it hard for people to find you? Visibility isn't about ego. It's not about fame. It's about service. If they can't see you, they can't trust you. If they can't trust you, they won't buy from you. Visibility is trust at scale. It's what turns strangers into clients, viewers into believers, eyeballs into revenue. And every day you delay your decision to be seen, you delay the life and business that's waiting on you. No more delays, no more debate. This is your decision point. You've got something valuable. Now the world needs to know. But the only way they'll know is if you show up on purpose. If you want to be paid like a leader, you have to be seen like one. You can't build a successful business with a hidden face. You can't change lives with a muted voice. And you can't lead a movement from the shadows. Visibility is not just about being seen. It's about becoming someone worth following. Because being seen is surface, but becoming seen is spiritual. It's an identity shift. From the background to the front, from the helper to the leader, from the hidden gem to the voice that moves people. And that shift starts on the inside, before the camera turns on, before the content goes live, before the strategy gets mapped out. You have to decide, I am done playing small. This isn't about getting a few likes. It's about becoming a force, a presence that commands attention, not for ego, but for impact. But impact requires order. Because visibility without direction becomes noise, and noise never builds trust. So if you've been posting randomly, disappearing, overthinking, restarting, and shrinking back, it's not because you're not capable. It's because you haven't fully stepped into your visibility identity. A visibility identity says, I know my value, I serve with my voice, I scale with consistency, I protect my time, I move with a message, and I show up even when it's hard. That's why you need structure, not hustle. Structure. Structure is what turns chaos into clarity. It's what lets you think less and lead more. It's what turns a good intention into a client-generating machine. This is where most people fall. They want visibility, but they try to do it off willpower. Willpower runs out. Systems scale you. That's why I don't just talk visibility. I build it into my days on purpose. That's why the Time for Business calendar exists. To keep your mind focused, your message consistent, and your mission protected. Because the truth is, if you don't organize your day around your visibility, You'll organize it around other people's distractions. Leadership takes space. Space takes boundaries. And boundaries are a decision. You must protect your vision like it's already real, because it is. You already have the value. You already have the proof. Now it's time to become the person who is known for it. That starts with being seen. That starts with making visibility a lifestyle, not a once-in-a-while tactic. That starts with mastering your time and building a visibility engine that never turns off. So here's your inner challenge. Will you keep waking up and responding to your day? Or will you wake up and lead it? Will you keep being known as someone great if they'd only show up more? Or will you finally become unforgettable? The shift is ready. The tools are here. The identity is waiting. All that's left is your decision. The war within you know you're meant for more. You've known it for a while now, but the moment you go to step forward, something pulls you back. Doubt, fear, overthinking. That loop in your head that whispers, what if I'm not ready? What if they don't listen? What if I mess up? Let's be real. This is the invisible war that buries greatness. Not the economy, not the algorithm, not the competition, but the internal resistance that shows up as perfectionism, procrastination, distraction, and fake productivity. Visibility will expose it all. Not because you're broken, but because stepping into leadership will always awaken the parts of you still trying to hide. That's why showing up feels scary, because somewhere inside you've tied visibility to danger. Danger of being judged, danger of being misunderstood, danger of being seen before you feel ready. But hear this, the fear of visibility isn't about the camera. It's about identity. It's about not fully believing you're already enough to be seen. So let's reset that belief right here, right now. You don't need to be perfect to be seen. You just need to be present. You don't need a huge audience to lead. You just need the courage to speak. And you don't need to go viral to be valuable. You are allowed to start where you are, with your real voice, with your real knowledge, with your real story, because real is what reaches people. And in this noisy world, real is rare. So what if they judge you? People are already judging you for being quiet. They're already forming opinions based on silence. So you might as well show them what's actually true. You're not too late. You're not behind. You're not unqualified. You're just unexpressed. And the moment you decide to express the version of you that's been waiting to lead, everything begins to shift. But just like we said before, this isn't about hype. This is about structure, because it's one thing to get inspired to show up. It's another to systemize it so it keeps working when you don't feel like it. That's why you need daily accountability. That's why the Time for Business calendar was built, to give you a place to see yourself lead day by day, to give your mind a rhythm and your mission a home. Because when your voice is scheduled, it becomes powerful. When your message is organized, it becomes magnetic. This is how you go from fear to flow, from stuck to seen, from hiding to high impact. The world doesn't need another silent expert. It needs a vocal leader. And you can't lead from behind closed doors. You have something to say. Someone is waiting to hear it. And your silence is costing them clarity. So even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's messy, even when you're still figuring it out, speak anyway. Show up anyway. Build it anyway. You don't need to wait to feel confident. Confidence is earned by consistent exposure, and the more you step into visibility, the less fear you'll carry, and the more impact you'll command. visibility that converts. By now, you know this isn't about just being seen. It's about being seen with purpose, because visibility with no direction is just noise. But visibility with intention, that's a client attracting system. And this is where most business owners get stuck. They finally gather the courage to show up. They post content, they make videos, they speak, but still no real momentum, because the truth is, visibility without clarity is visibility without results. If your content is unclear, if your message is scattered, if your audience is confused, they won't buy, they won't trust, they won't stay. Not because you're not good, but because they can't feel what you solve. That's where the shift begins. You don't need more content. You need a clear visibility system that builds trust while you sleep. Let's break it down. The 1% VVS system is how you become magnetic. It's how you build authority, scale your time, and attract clients without chasing. VVS stands for value, video, scale, and it's powered by the VTT formula: value, trust, traffic. Let's break that down. Value. What are you saying that makes your audience feel seen and helped before they ever pay you? This isn't about being inspirational, it's about being useful. If your audience doesn't gain clarity from you, they will scroll past you. Every piece of content must answer this question: did I deliver real value, or just post to stay relevant? Trust. People buy from who they trust. Not who's loudest, not who's trending, not who posts the most. Trust is built when people see consistency, alignment, and depth. It's not what you say once, it's what you repeat consistently with clarity. When you show up with the same message, in the same energy, backed by real results, you become undeniable. Traffic. Now that your message is valuable and trustworthy, it's time to get more eyes on it. But here's the key. You don't need more followers. You need more focused viewers. Traffic doesn't just mean going viral. It means your ideal clients are being guided toward you through clear entry points. YouTube, shorts, podcasts, emails. Every platform should lead back to the same message that drives the same offer. That's why systems matter. That's why structure matters. That's why visibility is not a trend, it's an engine. And here's where it all comes together. Your calendar is the control center of this entire engine. That's why the Time for Business calendar exists. Not just to track time, but to direct it. To give your brain a place to build the system, not just dream about it. When your content strategy lives on your calendar, it lives in your business. You stop guessing what to post. You stop scrambling for clarity. You start building with precision. Visibility becomes predictable. Clients become consistent. And business finally becomes sustainable. So now ask yourself, do you want to be busy, or do you want to be visible? Attract. Do you want to keep chasing, or do you want content, or do you want conversion? Because when you build your visibility the right way, you don't just grow your audience, you grow your income, you grow your impact, and most importantly, you grow into the version of you that stops hiding and starts leading. The invisible cost of staying silent. There's a cost to staying quiet, a cost to shrinking, a cost to hiding behind "I'm not ready yet." But it's not loud. It doesn't scream. It creeps. It shows up in missed opportunities, in DMs that never come, in that subtle frustration you feel when someone with less experience gets more attention, more clients, more growth, simply because they chose to be visible and you didn't. And deep down, you know it. You know you're good. You know what you offer is real. You know you could help people right now if they just knew you existed. But that's the catch. If they don't know you, they can't choose you. You can be the best kept secret in your industry and still go broke. You can be brilliant and still overlooked. You can be gifted and still invisible, not because of your value, but because of your silence. Visibility isn't vanity, it's responsibility. You were given a vision. You were given a voice. You were given something that solves problems in real people's lives. So the real question is, why are you still hiding? Because every day you wait, someone else who's less qualified steps into the space you were built to lead. Not because they're better, but because they're braver. And the longer you stay hidden, the more you train the world to ignore you. This is not a message of guilt. This is your wake-up call, because right now, in this moment, someone is searching for exactly what you offer. And they won't find you unless you decide to be findable. That means speaking up, showing your face, sharing your message, repeating it so clearly and so consistently that people start to see you as the only option. That's what real visibility is. It's not about trying to go viral. It's about building value so real, so trustworthy, and so consistent that people don't just see you, they seek you. If that feels big, it's because it is. And that's why I created the Time for Business calendar. Not just to help you organize your days, but to give your vision a place to live, to help you structure your visibility before your silence structures your stagnation. Because silence is a system too. It just doesn't build the business you want. So if you've been hiding, if you've been waiting, if you've been stuck in planning, tweaking, perfecting, this is your permission slip to start, to get in the game, to be seen for what you actually carry, to stop giving the world a watered-down version of your gift. Because here's the truth. The cost of hiding is bigger than the fear of showing up. So stop rehearsing and start releasing. Stop waiting for clarity and create it. Stop hoping the world finds you and start making sure it does. You're not too late. You're not too small. You're not too unprepared. You are ready enough to begin. And the people you're meant to help, they're not waiting for perfect, they're waiting for you. The rise of the visible leader. Now that the silence is broken, now that the excuses are crumbling, it's time for you to rise. Not just as a business owner, not just as a content creator, as a leader. Because visibility is more than attention, it's leadership. It's the bold decision to step forward, to say, here's what I stand for, here's who I help, here's what I believe, and to keep saying it until the right people believe you too. That's when your voice becomes power. That's when your presence becomes proof. That's when your message becomes movement. But let's be honest, it's one thing to post a video, it's another thing to show up every week with clarity, confidence, and consistency, especially when you don't feel like it. That's why most people don't last. They start strong. They post one or two good things. They wait for applause that never comes, and then they quit because they never became the leader their business needed. Here's the hard truth. Consistency is not a strategy, it's an identity. And if you don't shift who you are, you'll keep falling short on what you do. This is the identity of the visible leader. They don't wait to feel inspired, they commit. They don't chase views, they build trust. They don't create content for algorithms, they create transformation for people. They understand that every video is a conversation, every post is positioning, every week is an opportunity to lead your audience into a better future. That's leadership. But leadership requires a system. It requires structure. It's why I use the Time for Business TM calendar every single day, because without a system to guide my energy gets pulled into everything except what matters. This calendar is where I plan my visibility, where I map out the message, where I protect the time to lead instead of react. And if you're serious about becoming that kind of leader, you'll need your own visibility system too. One that makes your brand inevitable, not by force but by flow, by repeating the right message to the right people at the right time. That's how you rise. Because at this level, visibility is not optional. It's the difference between obscurity and opportunity, between chasing and choosing, between burning out and breaking through. So ask yourself, are you leading your market or blending into it? Are you the lighthouse or just another flicker in the feed? Are you building a legacy or just a library of forgettable posts? You don't get remembered by being average. You get remembered by being visible and valuable. This is your moment to step into that identity, to stop being good at what you do, but invisible to those who need it, to finally show up like the leader your future is waiting on. No more shrinking, no more starting and stopping, no more waiting for signs. You are the signal, you are the message, you are the moment, and it all begins when you decide to lead out loud. The discipline that builds emperors. Everyone talks about legacy, but legacy doesn't come from dreams. It comes from discipline, from the quiet daily decisions no one sees. The early mornings, the focused blocks of time, the reps that feel boring but build empires. Visibility isn't magic, it's math, and the formula is simple. Discipline plus direction equal dominance. You can have all the passion in the world, but if it's not scheduled, it's scattered. If it's not measured, it's emotional. If it's not focused, it fades. Let's cut the fluff. You say you want to win, you say you want clients, you say you want visibility, but does your calendar agree with you? Because that's where the truth lives. Your calendar is your mirror. It will never lie to you. It will show you if you're serious or just motivated. It will show you if you're building momentum or just burning time. It will show you if you're building a business or babysitting a hobby. That's why I created the Time for Business TM calendar. Not for aesthetic, not to feel organized, but to build a structure that can carry my future, to protect time like the royalty I plan to become. This is where I schedule my weekly message, block out creative time, track what's working, see the patterns, multiply the impact. Because listen, chaos isn't cute when you're building a company, and busy doesn't mean you're booked. Discipline is not just about what you do, it's about who you become when no one's watching. It's choosing to show up even when it's inconvenient. It's filming when you're tired. It's editing when no one's clapping. It's launching that video when you're not sure how it will perform. It's committing to visibility with vision. The kind of vision that sees beyond the likes, beyond the fear, beyond the now. The kind of vision that asks, who will I become if I don't quit? What message will I regret not sharing? What audience is waiting for my voice to lead them? That's what discipline builds. You can't automate legacy. You have to earn it one decision at a time. And the truth is, your future is already on the line, right now, in this very moment, because someone out there with half your talent, less experience, less heart, is winning, because they're visible. So how long will you let your genius stay hidden? How long will you let inconsistency rob you of results? How long will you keep handing your future over to distractions? Decide that the vision is worth protecting. Decide that the business is worth building. Decide that your time is your most valuable asset. And then do what winners do. schedule it, guard it, honor it. This isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. It's about making sure your calendar matches your calling, because when your time gets clear, your future gets closer. The day you become undeniable, there comes a moment when being overlooked is no longer something you tolerate, a moment when you realize you were never lacking skill, you were just invisible, and invisibility has a cost. It costs you clients, it costs you confidence, it costs you the life your talent could have built. Let's make something clear right now. You are not behind because you're not good enough. Exist. You are behind because too few people know you, and in business, obscurity is the real enemy. Every time you hesitate to post, every time you skip sharing your message, every time you let fear of judgment win, you leave money on the table, you leave leadership on the table, you leave impact on the table, you leave opportunity for someone else to pick up, someone less experienced, less passionate, less powerful than you, but louder. Visibility is not about vanity, it's not about ego or exposure, it's about ownership. It's about taking control of how the world sees you before the world decides for itself. Because the truth is, people don't buy the best, they buy what they can see. And until you step into the light, you'll keep working too hard for too little with too few clients and too much doubt. You're not stuck because business is hard. You're stuck because business is quiet, and quiet businesses don't scale. They beg, they chase, they discount themselves just to survive. But visible businesses attract, they lead, they command respect, they become a magnet for the right people, the right partners, the right opportunities. Because the most powerful shift you'll ever make in business is this: you stop waiting to be discovered, and you start deciding to be known. This is what separates the leaders from the leftovers. Leaders build visibility on purpose. They communicate clearly. They position with power. They solve real problems out loud. They don't hope to be found. They make themselves undeniable. You want to change your life? Become undeniable. You want to get more clients without begging or chasing? Become undeniable. You want to get referrals, partnerships, stages, interviews, respect? Become undeniable. Not perfect, not viral, undeniable. You do that by showing up with consistency, by speaking with confidence, by building content with purpose, by owning your space like you were born for it, because you were. You are not an algorithm away from success. You are one decision away from being visible. And when you're visible, you become valuable, you become credible, you become profitable. Not eventually, immediately. Because the moment people can see you, they can choose you. So here's the real question. Are you ready to stop being optional and start being unforgettable? Because everything changes when people start saying your name in rooms you've never entered. When clients start coming to you because they've already seen the proof. When you walk into a room and your content has already done the talking. That's what happens when you build visibility with intention. And that version of you, the one who's seen, trusted, booked, free, that version starts now. You've always had the power. You don't need to become someone else to be successful. You don't need a bigger team, a better background, a louder voice, or a different story. You just need to be seen, because the power isn't in what you do next year. It's in what you decide today. And the truth is, you've already survived more than enough to lead. You've already overcome enough to teach. You've already earned the right to take up space. All that's left is for you to decide that you deserve to be visible. Visibility is not a luxury. It's not for the chosen few. It's not for the perfect or the polished. It's for the committed, the clear, the courageous. Visibility is for the ones who stop waiting for confidence and start communicating with conviction, because you don't build confidence in silence, you build it in motion. Every video you publish, every story you tell, every message you repeat until it sticks. Those aren't just marketing moves, they're mirrors, reflecting back who you've always been beneath the doubt. You don't need permission anymore. The world is already waiting, not just for another post, but for your voice, your truth, your leadership, because the truth is, you've always had the power, not in some vague motivational way, in a real, tangible, trackable way. Power to communicate, power to influence, power to build, power to sell, power to lead. But that power stays locked until you step out of the shadows and say, I am here now. It's not about chasing visibility for attention. It's about choosing visibility for alignment, so that who you are in private matches what the world sees in public, so that the value you already carry finally gets delivered where it can do the most good. And if you're ready to practice that visibility, to build that consistency, to create that message that moves your audience, I built something for you. It's called the 21-Day Visibility Challenge, not a program, a shift, a daily decision to stop hiding and start leading. 21 days of clarity, of content, of courage, of powerful repetition. Because the only way to become visible is to train for it. The link is in the pinned comment. If you're ready, I'll meet you inside. You've always had the power. Now it's time to turn it on and never dim it again. Let's go.